better than a bowl of pad thai, a pint of Guinness, and a leggy blonde named Catherine? Not many things. On an unrelated note, the WWE UK Championship special happened on Friday.
Yep. It did. That intro hurt my head. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Just like Pete Dunn.
Yeah.
That's to hurt people's heads.
So yeah, we got a little look into what we can expect from the forthcoming UK Championship show. Not sure when it's actually supposed to start, but I guess
I feel like it's going to be just sort of periodically spread out, kind of like this is. Like it's going to be
okay. I mean, they do go to the UK fairly often, and a lot of those guys. Yeah, I don't know. It was I mean, it definitely didn't feel as long as it was.
No.
I mean, it was an hour and a half, but it felt like it went by really fast. And that's
there was only 4 matches.
Yeah, there was only 4 matches, so I mean that's saying something. It kept us entertained. Which we opened up with Wolfgang taking on Joseph Connors, 2 standouts from the UK Championship tournament.
Yeah, this is why I was so glad that Michael Cole wasn't on commentary.
Yeah, we had JR and Nigel McGuinness.
Because we didn't have to hear over and over and over again about his fucking half ear.
Yeah, I think JR literally mentioned it once and just said it's because of his intense personality and his willingness to fight. Because of that, he's missing half an ear.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Thank you. So nice to hear JR on commentary
Absolutely.
again. So, a treat on top of the fact that we got some great British wrestling. Wolfgang vs. Joseph Connors was a great opener. Wolfgang was one of my favorites coming out of the UK tournament. Joseph Connors, a very strong wrestler in his own right. And they had fantastic chemistry. Wolfgang was definitely the favorite.
Yeah.
And played babyface through the whole thing. A lot of work on his ribs from Joseph Connors. That drop kick down into the ring post while he was stuck under the bottom turnbuckle. Tossing, I think he drove him into the barricade a couple times on the outside. Just some very simple, very very straightforward work from both of these guys.
Yeah.
And Wolfgang, I loved Wolfgang's selling in this so much. Like he
definitely committed.
He made it very apparent what the weak spot on his body was, and even though he was delivering his finishing maneuver, he still sold his ribs throughout the entirety of the move.
Yeah.
Because Joseph Connors ended up trying to do some sort of top rope move, ended up getting caught with a spear. We had Wolfgang go up to the top, hit the Swanton bomb he calls the Howling, all while holding his ribs at the same time, and picked up the win over Joseph Connors. Very strong open to the show.
Good.
Our second match, we only had one UK wrestler. That was Dan Maloney, who ended up teaming up with Rich Swan to take on TJP and the Brian Kendrick.
Which the T in TJP stands for the Brian Kendrick, which is ironic.
The J Perkins.
The Brian Kendrick J Perkins.
This is just a really long name.
Yeah, it's weird because the J also stands for just incredible.
What?
The Brian Kendrick Just Incredible Perkins.
All right.
And don't even get me started because his last name isn't actually Perkins. Perkins is just another acronym, just like TJ. All those letters stand for something else too.
That's a whole nother video.
Yeah, no, literally, this video would be twice as long if I had to say his whole name.
And we don't need it to be. A fun tag team match. I would have liked another British guy, another UK standout in this match. I'm not sure who.
Even if it would have been Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Gallagher and Dan Maloney would have been a fun team to see. But Rich Swan, I mean, was super over with the crowd. Crowd was having a lot of fun, booing TJP and Brian Kendrick.
Calling him a wanker.
Yep, he didn't like that. There was a lot of TJP just covering his ears and trying not to listen to what the crowd was saying.
Or to Rich Swan's theme song.
Yes. Yeah, he wasn't too fond of Rich Swan's theme song.
He can't handle it.
He can't handle this. Fun tag team match all the way through. I thought Dan Maloney was going to be kind of the whipping boy, just to get some more babyface points on him for being the only UK guy in the match, but a lot of tags back and forth on both sides. Kendrick and Perkins worked great as a heel unit. But Dan Maloney kind of ended up getting that, getting his own hot tag spot, and then Rich Swan got his own hot tag spot. So it was a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yeah.
And despite working well as a tag team, Dan Maloney and Rich Swan just couldn't get it done though, because Swan ends up getting taken out and tossed into the stairs by TJP on the outside. Dan Maloney is doing pretty well against Brian Kendrick in the ring, looking for some sort of like spine buster type maneuver, but they got too close to the ropes, and TJP was able to hold Brian Kendrick from being slammed down. Kendrick was able to kind of like heighten himself up over the shoulders, rolled up into a small package, and TJP and the Brian Kendrick pick up the tag team win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only match of the night where somebody from the UK didn't win.
Yes. Yeah. The downside to only having one UK guy in the entirety of the match.
That's the joke. All the rest of the people were only UK.
Yeah. And speaking of the next two matches, unfortunately we weren't as hyped for these matches because we knew the outcomes already.
Yeah, I was a lot less excited once I found out that the two closing matches were the number one contenders match and the UK Championship match to determine who was going to be into the UK Championship match and take over Chicago, which was already announced like a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Needless to say, though,
They were great matches.
Despite knowing the outcomes, knowing the outcome and watching the outcome are two completely different things.
Yeah.
And so, first off, we had the number one contenders match between Pete Dunne and Trent Seven. We saw a little bit of a backstage altercation between the two. Trent Seven hurt his arm in a match the night before, in a match against Wolfgang.
Yeah.
And so he was, he was having, he had some pulled tendons. Said that it wasn't going to be too much of an issue. He was going to be able to work through it. But
there's no bits in there.
Yeah, no broken bits. But Pete Dunne, being Pete Dunne, decided to slam the arm against a wall, which did a little bit more damage. So Trent Seven was.
There might be bits now.
There might be a couple of broken bits. Trent Seven did a really good job of kind of like
protecting himself.
Initially protecting the arm, keeping it away, just trying to shove Pete Dunne with one arm. Eventually, Pete Dunne was able to do some more damage. Ended up getting it stuck between the stairs.
It was definitely the focal point for like 75% of the match.
Yeah,
was Pete Dunne working on Trent Seven's arm,
which is a great thing because he uses that arm for the 7-star lariat.
Yeah.
So it was a smart move by Pete Dunne to expose that. But Trent Seven did some decent work with one arm.
I want to just say, ouch. Dragon suplex on the apron.
Yes. I mean...
Fuck that noise.
Despite the pain, that's precision. The fact that one of them didn't go flying off of the apron during that move, spot on, boys. But despite the valiant effort by Trent Seven, and the fact that we knew that it was already going to happen, Pete Dunne did end up picking up the win with the bitter end. It's one of those moves, man. Like, every time I see it, like, I know what it looks like, but it's still cool every time I see it. I'm a big fan of that move.
Physics.
They're awesome. And then we followed that up with the UK Championship match. Tyler Bate defending against Mark Andrews.
This match was really good.
I mean, it doesn't get much more entertaining when you've got someone like Mark Andrews in there who can pretty much do anything he wants.
Yeah.
And then you have just the straightforward, no-nonsense type of wrestling that Tyler Bate is able to put in there. They complement each other very well.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, like, Mark Andrews is well-studied.
Yes.
For how long he's been in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Does a lot of great stuff. And then it just goes to show you the fact that, like, Tyler Bate is one of those guys who is absolutely limitless because of the fact of like how polished he is,
Yeah.
so young, so early in his career, you know, the fact that like most guys don't get as good as Tyler Bate until they're like 30 something.
Some guys don't even get that good by the end of their careers.
Yeah. So to know like how good he is now, like if he does continue to wrestle for like the next 10, 15 years, you know, what kind of a person, like what kind of matches is he going to be putting on?
And here's like another thing about Tyler Bate is like he doesn't wrestle a style where he could get severely injured very easily. Like he does one dive.
Yeah, he's not a super high flyer. He's not like a big time risk taker.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he does like the one that worries me is that that he does that a lot of people do. He does a lot of the head plant bumps though.
True.
On like the Hurricane Ranas and the DDTs.
Yeah, which he took a hell of a reverse Rana from Andrews at one point in the match. But yeah, that's the fact is, I mean, with how much he knows at being only 20 years old, is just
and how strong he is.
It is amazing.
If you've never seen him airplane spin and giant swing a person simultaneously, find that. That's on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's he's strong. He's very agile. Just a fantastic wrestler all around. Definitely deserves to be champion.
Yeah.
He's a great inaugural champion for this brand. He's got a little bit of every type of wrestling you're gonna get in a British independent promotion.
Yeah.
That's one other thing I wanted to mention about Pete Dunn. Pete Dunn coming out with the Progress Championship on a WWE program.
Very cool, WWE.
Whether it was just to put over the fact that he's champion or the fact that he's an asshole and doesn't really care what title he's wearing on whatever show he wants to wear it on, good move. But back to the championship match. Yeah, just great work from both guys. Once again, you know, taken a little bit out of it by the fact that we knew Tyler Bate was going to retain.
Yeah.
There were a couple moments.
There was one move. I don't even remember what the move was now. I want to say it was something of like Manders coming off the top rope.
Yeah.
Which he does a lot, so it could have been anything. And he landed a move on Tyler and pinned him, and the fall was so close.
Yeah, you legit.
But I was like, oh,
like
I know he doesn't win, but I thought he was gonna win.
Yeah,
like,
it's one of those things. You watch certain matches and you're just like, you're almost expecting something different to happen, despite you knowing better.
Yeah.
That just speaks volumes about Mandrews and Tyler Bates' ability to work a crowd.
Yeah.
But despite all of the amazing work that Mark Andrews put into this match, he unfortunately got a gut full of knees after trying to hit the shooting star press, and that was followed up quickly by a couple different attempts that he did reverse, but eventually Tyler Bate did hit the Tyler Driver 97 and defeated Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews was then shoved over on the ramp on his way back up by Pete Dunn, and we finished the show off with a little bit of a face-off between champion and challenger, and we will get that match tonight on NXT TakeOver Chicago.
Yeah, it's going to be WWE's first official rematch.
Yes.
On TV from the UK Championship Tournament.
Yes. Potentially a show stealer.
Absolutely.
It's probably going to be the most different match out of the entirety of the NXT card.
Essentially, I wouldn't be surprised.
But I mean, they have some stiff competition because you've got Roddy versus Eric Young, you've got Hideo versus Bobby Roode,
tag team ladder match,
and 3 fantastic women all battling for the NXT Women's Championship. Lots of stuff to look forward tonight on NXT TakeOver Chicago. I know
I'm looking forward to it.
Check back to our midweek wrap-up so you can get our NXT predictions. You can also check out Backlash predictions because that's tomorrow. Lots of stuff happening over here.
Woo!
But thanks for watching our UK special review. Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links Check out the podcast.
That's the link.
This isn't on there.
Nope.
Check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
Reasonable to W.
Like wrestling.
Yeah.
I went ahead of you. Yeah, we're going to be having some more content pop up over there very soon. We're trying to get some,
film it.
Yeah, we're trying to get some scheduling things to work so we can record some of the stuff. We do have backlogged punishments that we have to do, so those will be popping up very soon. But check them all out. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Pad Thai.
Is there a lady blonde in here, too?
Oh, not this part, but...